Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding. Hug. Mr. President.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for opening remarks by Councilmember Melton.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody have a seat. I just hope everybody is enjoying this gorgeous weather that we're having for March. And I'm sorry that you're all sitting in here instead of out there. Anyway, enjoy the weather.
An affidavit of publication is on file, and a current copy of the Open Meeting Act is posted in a white binder on the east wall of legislative chambers.
One other, I'd like to recognize Councilmember Festerson.
Thanks, Mr. President. Just 1 minute of personal privilege to recognize Civic Nebraska, who's here with us today, celebrating Civic Week, and they have with us students from Lothrop Elementary and Lewis and Clark Middle School, which is my alma mater. So go Trailblazers, and thank you for your interest in local government.
Did you go already? Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to this meeting of the Omaha City Council. As a courtesy to those in attendance and to facilitate the conduct of our business, we ask that you please silence or turn off all electronic devices. A reminder that you will have 3 minutes to speak on an agenda item. Please stay on topic. For those not providing in-person testimony and would like your comments entered into the public record, you can email the city clerk's office at cityclerk@cityofomaha.org. Council members receive these emails and we read them. Finally, council members may ask members of the audience back up for clarifying questions, but not for extra time to speak. I would also like to remind council members to speak clearly into their microphones so the audience members in attendance and at home can hear them. And same if you come up to the podium, make sure those microphones are right in front of you so everybody can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Item 6, to consider a Class I liquor license for a Lifetime Cafe located at 17007 Elm Plaza.
Public hearing is now open on item number 6. Is the applicant here today? Right in the front row. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Emily Hallam. I'm the general manager for Lifetime, publicly traded large athletic country club facility that's located, our location in Omaha is at 17007 Elm Plaza. Here today to hopefully approve a liquor license for our location.
Thank you. Is there any proponents here today on item number 6? Seeing none, is there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Council Member Festerson, you're recognized.
Thanks, Mr. President. It sounds like a great establishment. I'll let the council member from this district ask any questions if they have any or make that motion, but I would certainly support that. I did just want to recognize also your distinguished guest with you, who is the former Parks Director of the City of Omaha, Larry Foster.
All right.
Good to see you again. Thanks, Mr. President.
Thank you. Got a motion and a second. No further lights. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding. Hug. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
Thank you, council members. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Items 7 through 9 can be considered together for Bensonville Acres Replat 11, located at 4715 North 60th Avenue. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. Item 7, an ordinance to rezone this property from R3 District to R5 District. Items 8 and 9 are resolutions to approve the preliminary plat and final plat.
The public hearings for items 7 through 9 are now open. Before I call for proponents, is the applicant here? Is there any proponents for items 7 through 9? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding. Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 10, a resolution to approve a special use permit to allow custom manufacturing in the CC District located at 20102 and 20110 Clark Circle. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
The public hearing is now open on item number 10. Applicant here today. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm Connor Shields with RW Engineering and Surveying. We were the civil engineer on the project and here to represent the applicant and answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here in item 10? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding. Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
Thank you for
Item 11, a resolution to approve a major amendment to the large project special use permit in the GI district located at 5701, 5802, and 5820 South 86th Circle. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing is now open on item number 11. Applicants, good afternoon.
Calvin Hintz. I'm with Kinley Horton Associates, the civil engineer on the project, and I also have some representatives from the Ponca tribe here with me as well, so free to answer any questions.
Do we get your address?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay.
1660 Selby Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any proponents here today on item number 11? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding. Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 12, a resolution to approve a major amendment to the special use permit to allow agricultural sales and service in the AG district located at 1701 North 252nd Street. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing is now open on item 12. Good afternoon, applicant.
Clint Purtle, 1701 North 252nd Street. MS Walkup Investments here for our amendment to our special use permit.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here today on item number 12? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding. Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
Thank you.
Consent agenda. Any member of the City Council may cause any item placed on the consent agenda to be removed. Items removed from the consent agenda shall be taken up by the City Council immediately following the consent agenda in the order in which they were removed, unless otherwise provided by the City Council Rules of Order.
The public hearing is on agenda items 13 through 22 were held on March 3rd, 2026. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Festerson, you're recognized.
Thanks, Mr. President. I just wanted to report back on item number 21, which is the proposed contract with the Omaha Police Officers Association. We had a discussion about this last week, and I'll be supportive of this today. I just wanted to report back the numbers we confirmed from our Public Safety Committee meetings and then in subsequent correspondence with Mr. Indenbosch that the force that we currently have available in the Omaha Police Department is 813 if you include the current academy. They do intend to have a class, and they're hoping for a class of up to 30 officers this July. They would anticipate a lateral class of up to 5 officers this September. And then hopefully by January 4th or so, we'll have a large class of up to 50 officers. Of course, this is a moving target with retirements and things that can happen along the way. But they hope this means with this contract will be to 880 officers by January of 2027. So that's obviously the intent of this contract, is to enhance our staffing and recruitment efforts, and I believe this will do that. So I'll motion to approve items 13 through 22.
We got a motion and a second. No further lights. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson.
Yes.
Goodwin. Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
The public hearings for agenda items 23 through 36 are today. If you wish to address the City Council regarding these items, please come to the microphone, indicate the agenda item number you wish to address, identify yourself by your name, address, who you represent, and if you're a proponent or opponent. The public hearing is now open on items 23 through 36. So
27 and 28.
is it? So, okay, so without objection, we'll remove 27 and 28, and we'll take those up after this.
After 37.
After 36.
After 37.
37.
37.
Are we-
Okay.
Okay, so let's start over, sorry. So it's items 23 through 26 and 29 through 36. Okay. 27, 28 are after 23 through 26 and 29 through 36.
After item 37. You need to take them up after 37.
After 37. All right, I'm there. Okay. Are we good?
We're good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for keeping me straight.
We got it.
Okay, so public hearing on 23 through 26 and 29 through 36. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding. Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 37, an ordinance to approve Amendment Number 1 to the Construction Manager at Risk Agreement with McCarthy Building Companies, Inc. for the Papillion Creek Water Resource Recovery Facility Secondary Expansion Project. A's communication in opposition.
Council discussion. Councilmember Melton, you're recognized.
Thank you. After further discussion with our Public Works today and our attorney, I believe there is going to be an amendment of the whole. Instead of rushing that amendment, having us read it 5 minutes before 2, I suggest that we lay this over so that we have an opportunity to review the amendment of the whole, have an opportunity for the amendment of the whole to be open to the public for review as well. And so I'm going to move to lay this over due to some council member potential absences. I would like to move to lay it over till April 7th.
Got a motion and a second. Do we vote or do we vote now on that? Okay, gotcha. Did you have anything else, Councilmember Melton?
No, just the motion to lay over.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we had a motion and a second. We have other lights. Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
Yeah, I guess there's not much more to say than that, what Councilmember Melton said. I think there is an amendment to come and rather than to repeat Councilmember Melton, rather than take that up today, which I don't think we even have that amendment yet. So I don't know what the amendment states, so I'm not going to state whether or not I'm in agreement with it or opposed to it, but open to the consideration for it. And the sooner we can get that, the better, so that we can start taking a dive into that to see what the details of that amendment address as it relates to the proposed amendment that we have on our agenda for consideration. So I'll support that for till the April layover.
Thanks, and I'll be supporting that layover as well, for the fact that there's a lot of information was discussed last week, and McCarthy, I think, maybe should have been afforded some time to respond back, but also council members. We had a lot of questions after last Tuesday, and I've had several meetings, and I think it's prudent to lay this over. It might have been sooner, but as Councilmember Melton said, we also have a day off we're not scheduled to meet on March 31st, so with scheduling, the next available date was at April 7th. So I'll look forward to McCarthy can articulate, or anybody else at that time, on April 7th when we have the vote. So there are no further lights. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilmember Harding.
I forgot to mention, I did receive a number of emails on this, and I responded to every one of them and even offered the opportunity to talk about it. This isn't about CMAR. It's not about the process of CMAR. The main question, I have many, but the main question really relates to the change in language to allow a process, at least in my estimation, that was allowed to occur that was not part of the original agreement as it relates to some of the work that was to be self-performed. So Again, I'll continue to respond to those emails that are questioning my support for CMAR, but that is not what that's not what my issue is about the difference between the original agreement and this and the amendment.
Thanks. There's no further lights. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 27, a resolution to approve the builder's risk insurance policy terms and conditions and payment of the policy premium in accordance with the construction manager at risk agreement with McCarthy Building Companies, Inc.
Public hearing is open on item number, what was that? 27. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
Are you going to close the public hearing?
Oh, sorry. Public hearing is closed. Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
Sure. Well, I think it kind of goes without saying that there's no reason to approve this resolution until we settle or the other item that we were just previously discussing, 37. So I'll make a motion to lay that over until the April 7th date.
Got a motion and a second. No further lights. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 28, a resolution to approve the professional services agreement with Multi Vista to provide professional photography, videography, and documentation services on the Papillion Creek WRRF secondary expansion project.
Public hearing is open on item 28. Council discussion. Council. Get me scrambled here. Public hearing is open on item number 28. Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
You want to do proponents and opponents?
You got me confused on all this. Are there any proponents here on item number 28? The public hearing is open. Any proponents? And I got everybody confused here. Seeing no proponents, are there any opponents on item number 28? Seeing none, Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Got there for you, big guy.
This also is in relation to the same project. Jim Tyler from Public Works thought that it did not need to be removed from the consent agenda, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I just wanted to make sure that, so that if anyone had any confusion, since it's related to the project, this is really the video chronicling of the construction process. I don't have any problem with moving forward on this because the agreement with this group doesn't start until a purchase order is issued. And so I doubt a purchase order is going to be issued prior to us taking care of item 37 and 27 on April 7th. So I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second, and the public hearing was closed. So are there no further lights? Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 38, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a purchase order to Garrett's Lawn Service for Adams Park Green Infrastructure Annual Maintenance Services to be utilized by the Environmental Quality Control Division.
Public hearing is now open on item number 38. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 39, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a purchase order to Northwest Electric LLC for maintenance services for various electrical equipment to be utilized by the Missouri River Water Resource Recovery Facility and Papillion Creek Water Resource Recovery Facility.
Public hearing is now open on item number 39. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents on item 39? Public hearing is closed.
Item 40, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a purchase order to Abe's Trash Service, Inc. for trash container service for Papio Creek Wastewater Resource Recovery Facility.
Public hearing is now open on item number 40. Are there any proponents here today for item 40? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 41, an ordinance to approve the Mariah Intergenerational Center Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Agreement. A is amendment of the whole requested by the Planning Department.
Public hearing is now open on item 41. Mr. Seaton, good
Yes.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Don Seaton, City Planning. I'm here for any questions you may have.
Are there any proponents?
Thanks for your patience. Are there any proponents here today? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ralph Lassiter, 2409 North 161st Street, representing the Mariah Generational Center, and here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 42, Vinnie's Tree Service appeals the rejection of their bid from December 17th, 2025 for OPW 55069, the 2026 tree and stump removal services at various locations.
This is not a public hearing. Anyone from the company appealing the bid may speak, then the city. Mr. White, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Council members, thank you for hearing me on behalf of Vinnie's Tree Service. I have some exhibits. I think you've been previously given the copies, but I offer them to this clerk. Essentially what has occurred is, as part of a divorce, Vinnie Palermo Sr., I'll just call him Sr., had to reorganize his business, and also because of his other legal troubles, obviously. As part of that, he hired the firm of Croker Huck, did a transfer of the assets in a manner that best fit the tax matters. You have copies of those. Essentially what happened is that Senior still owned the equipment necessary to remove trees, but he gave an exclusive lease to his son, who founded Vinnie's Tree Service, an LLC. His son is the sole member and owner of that tree service. Vinnie Sr. does work there. He's a W-2 employee. He does estimations. The city turned down a bid that was otherwise the lowest and best bid because of, as they wrote, that Vinnie Sr. owned the business and his past legal history. Vinnie Sr. does not own the business. Simply put, we don't in the United States punish children for the sins of their parents. It's called a bill of attainder. It's even actually expressly prohibited for the federal government to do so in the United States Constitution. I think that Vinnie's Tree Service is qualified as an employer under the city charter and city laws. So I'd ask the members to recognize that the child has a right to compete on an equal basis without regard to whatever misdeeds his father did. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer.
Thank you. Can we get your name and address, too?
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thomas M. White. My business address is 3114 St. Mary's Avenue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Is anyone from the city here? Ryan?
Heather Tippy Pierce, Public Works. In the review of every bid, the Public Works Department goes through a multi-level review. In the bid that was submitted by Vinnie's Tree Service for the tree and stump removal services project, we check for a number of documentation, including who is listed as their primary certified arborist. This is a contract that will be executed during the protected months by the Federal Migratory Bird Act. And so the certified arborist is of particular importance because it is a position that, based on the arborist's experience and credibility, will be directing work in conformance with federal, state, and local laws in regard to what trees can be cleared, when a project has to be halted, or can be continued, working around various different nests and or protected animals. We, in our review, saw that the bid that had been submitted by Vinnie's Tree Service listed to use the previous testifier's vernacular, Vinnie Sr., as the certified arborist in that lead role for the project. This created some concerns in our review in accordance with not just lowest, but best in the city's interests. The municipal code allows every department director in the review of their bid to reject any or all bids. And we take that very seriously. And so when we saw this concern at a departmental level, we engaged the law department, and ultimately it was decided to reject the bid, which is what we're here to review today. So a copy of that supplier response from the electronic bidding system has been submitted to the clerk for the record.
Thank you.
Brian Wiesen, Deputy City Attorney. I have some additional documentation for the council's consideration, but before I get to that documentation, I want to go through a few of the documents that Vinnie's Tree Service submitted to the council in support of its appeal today. Vinnie Sr., for lack of a better term, is represented to the council today as merely a W-9 employee who does some survey work. But if you look at the documents that were presented to the council by the appellant itself, Vinnie's Tree Service, I think that paints a different picture. In what was identified as Exhibit 1, Vincent J. Palermo, who is Vinnie Sr., is identified as the licensor. And Exhibit 1 makes it clear that the licensor maintains ownership of the intellectual property with respect to Vinnie's Tree Service, but leases that to the corporate entity for a period of time. That period of time ends upon the termination of the equipment lease that was separately entered into between Vinnie Sr. and the corporation, and we'll get to that in a second. But it maintains ownership of that intellectual property in Vinnie Sr. If we look at what was marked as Exhibit 2 by the corporate entity, again, Vincent J. Palermo, Vinnie Sr. is identified as the employee. And as it makes very clear, the employee shall serve as president of the company, not just merely a W-9 employee or a mere surveyor who does some incidental survey work, but as the president of the company. Additionally, if you turn to page 3 of that document, you will see that Vincent J. Palermo is identified as the grantee, and that the grantor hereby grants to grantee, Vinnie Sr., the option to purchase 100% of the outstanding membership interest in the company. So again, he has an opportunity to purchase membership interest in the company pursuant to the terms of the document that was presented to the council by the corporate entity itself. Finally, if we look at Exhibit 3, which was offered by the appellant, again, Vincent J. Palermo is identified as the lessor and provides to the lessee the equipment to use for the tree service. Again, the lessor, Vinnie Sr., maintains ownership of that equipment through March 31st, 2028, when the equipment lease expires and that equipment is reverted back to Vinnie Sr. Again, that is the expiration date of the license agreement for the intellectual property as well. And again, I'll note that no title or ownership interest in the equipment passes to the corporate entity except for the lease rights specifically contained herein. As for additional documentation to be provided to the council for its consideration, I've marked as Exhibit 2 the information under criminal case number 819-CR108 in federal court, which sets forth 3 counts of failure to file tax records with respect to Vincent J. Palermo, or Vinnie Sr. I've marked as Exhibit 3 the amended judgment in that criminal case, wherein Vincent J. Palermo pled guilty to 3 counts of failure to file tax returns. As Exhibit 4, I've marked petition for warrant or summons for an offender under supervision in that same criminal case, which alleges that Vincent J. Palermo, or Vinny Sr., engaged in further criminal conduct in violation of the terms of his probation. I've marked as Exhibit 5 a judgment in that case finding a violation of the mandatory conditions of supervised probation for Vincent J. Palermo and entering sentence. I've also marked for the council's consideration Exhibit 6, which is the unsealed grand jury information and indictment under 423 CR 3052 against Vincent J. Palermo, which among other allegations alleges an honest service fraud conspiracy related to Vinny Sr.'s time on the City of Omaha City Council. And as Exhibit 7, I've marked a copy of a detention order that was entered by United States Federal Magistrate Judge Cheryl Zort with respect to whether or not Mr. Palermo should be released pending the outcome of his criminal charges. I'll direct your attention specifically to pages 3 and 4 of that document, wherein the court found, quote, the officers also discovered that the defendant submitted a PP loan application using false information regarding his percent ownership of Vinny's tree service. So there is a federal court finding that Vinny Sr. has previously lied regarding his percent ownership in the corporate entity of Vinny Tree Service in order to obtain funding. I've marked as Exhibit 8 the plea agreement entered into between the United States of America and Vincent J. Palermo, wherein Mr. Palermo pled guilty to one count of honest services fraud. As Exhibit 9, the findings and recommendation on a plea of guilty entered by the United States District Court judge in that case. Exhibit 10, the judgment in a criminal case sentencing Mr. Palermo to one count of honest services fraud conspiracy. As Exhibit 11, I've marked for you a filing at the Nebraska Secretary of State's office from April 2023, wherein Vincent L. Palermo, or Vinny Jr., is identified as the registered agent in Nebraska, but there's no mention about ownership interests in this public filing. And I think that's important because in April of 2023, Vinny Jr. is being identified as the registered agent with Secretary of State's website, but if you'll turn to Exhibit 12, in a divorce decree from September of 2024, there are representations made to a Douglas County District Court judge that Vinny Sr. has an ownership interest in Vinny's tree service and an award by the District Court to Vinny Sr. of that ownership interest to himself. And finally, as Exhibits 13 and 14, Exhibit 13 is a certified copy of the resolution removing Vinny Sr. from his position of Vice President of the City Council, and Exhibit 14 is a certified copy of a resolution removing Vinny Palermo as a member of the City Council.
Thank you. Mr. White, did you have any response?
Thank you. Yes, I do. First of all, the way the contracts have been created, they were created with the advice of Croker Huck, a very respected law firm. They're done in conformance with the divorce decree and tax laws. I have talked to Vinny Palermo. I have a statement from him. He is the sole membership owner of the company. The question I have is, if there's some evidence that Vinny Sr. is actually in control of this, the city should present it. But there is none. And the question is, at what point in time do you stop punishing someone who served his time? But even more importantly, is he entitled to try to do what he can for his son by saving a business and transferring it to him? Now, if the city believes that the transfer is incomplete or insufficient, we'd ask that to be made clear so that they may qualify for bids going forward. But the idea that you're somehow, anytime your business is associated with Vinny Palermo Sr., that everything's suspect, that's not due process. That's not the American way. The son's committed no crimes. He has represented to the city that he is the sole owner and controller. Vinny Sr. works there, no question about that. But again, isn't that what we're supposed to ask of people coming out of prison? That they find honest work and return to it. So thank you for your consideration. I appreciate the council's time.
Thank you for being here today. Do we have discussion, council? Council discussion? Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
I was, Ryan, if you could come up, and maybe Heather too, but don't necessarily disagree with what Mr. White just said, but also want to touch on, I think as we were talking about it being the consideration for lowest and best, is that I think it's important to note that, I'll say Vinny Sr. was listed as the arborist for this work. And if you could touch on why that might be an issue.
That Ryan Weeson, Deputy City Attorney, that is correct. He was listed, Vinny Sr. was listed as the arborist in the bid documents that were received. That's important because, and I'll maybe let Heather elaborate, is that this contract would require verification and compliance with federal statutes and regulations regarding the protection of protected or threatened species like the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, I believe some amphibians under state law, and some bats or mammalians. And so it would require verification and compliance with those federal requirements. That certification would have to be done by the arborist, who is Vincent J. Palermo Sr. And again, it's not that he is just a mere employee. He is, admittedly, by the documents provided by Mr. White, the president of the company. He is the owner of the equipment. He is the owner of the intellectual property rights. He has a grant, a right to purchase 100% of the outstanding memberships of the company. So he's not just a mere employee. He would have to be counted on to comply with federal law, to certify that his actions that he's taking as a member of that company are in compliance with federal law and are not violating these statutes or regulations. And the city would have to be able to take his word for it. And I think there's a history of Mr. Palermo not following through with federal statutes and regulations and the city not being able to take his word for things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Hug, you're recognized.
Don't go far. I don't want to agree with Mr. White, although I respect him, but something he did say kind of resonated with me a little bit. And you know, the old story goes, you know, you lose the battle, win the war. The city goes out for bids all the time. This ain't the last bid we're ever going to have. And we have plenty of opportunity for more work. Is there a pathway that you and Mr. Kuzi could see that we could give some guidance to Vinny's Tree Service so in the future they would be considered for work?
Ryan Weeson, Deputy City Attorney. As employees of the Law Department, Mr. Kuzi and I are prohibited from providing legal advice to outside members of the public. However, if representatives of the company wish to, for lack of a better word, consult with us or discuss possible changes to the structure of the company that may alleviate some concerns, I'm sure that we're always willing to sit down and listen to people in the future.
Okay, so what I heard you say was that you'd be willing to consult or talk with Vinny's Tree Service and or their representatives to try to identify some hurdles that they could maybe work on fixing for the future.
Ryan Weeson, Deputy City Attorney. I'm not able to make any promises here today, but I'm always willing to listen.
Okay. All right. Mr. President, may I call Tom White back up?
Sure.
Mr. White.
Thank you, Councilman. Vinny Jr. and the other principals in Vinny's Tree Service are here, and they just pointed out to me by note that they have another arborist on staff, Joseph Waldron. Would be more than happy that Mr. Waldron sign any and all certificates or federal documents assuring of compliance with the laws. And if the city gives us guidance and says that Vinnie Sr. Cannot be involved in a project, I'm sure they'll comply with that as well.
Thank you, Mr. White. Unfortunately, I have a limited knowledge of the legal aspect of the city contracts, but I would venture to guess that for this particular contract, we can't make any changes, because if we open that up, then we have to open up for everybody and anybody. So that's kind of locked. But you heard in a very positive tone, city legal was willing to open up communication to see what we can do to address some obstacles, so in the future when another bid comes up, we don't have this situation.
I appreciate that, Councilman, and we would appreciate that. I think what the moral imperative here is that Vinnie's Tree Service not be blocked from fairly competing for city contracts because of what the father did. I mean, that's inappropriate. Now, we have to concede he was the arborist on the bid, and they have articulated a reason. But we need to be able to work out a pathway where Vinnie's Tree Service has a right to do business. And indeed, we ought to think about whether or not Vinnie Sr. ought to be allowed to make a living in this city on some capacity. But certainly we'd appreciate that.
I'm not disagreeing with you, sir.
Huh?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I know we can't.
And I'm not
you're saying you
agreeing
can't
with
fix
you,
this
but,
contract.
But clearly, city legal department is willing to meet with you and/or Vinnie Jr. and to try to identify those obstacles to enhance the opportunities in the future. That's all I can. That's all I can do for you here today.
I appreciate your.
I don't have. I got one vote.
I appreciate your courtesy, Councilman, and the courtesy of all concerned. I've worked with the city legal on a number of cases over the years, and certainly this is something that I'll be happy to meet with them on and try to work out.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Melton, you're recognized.
Thank you. And I have to agree with Mr. White. We can't, the kind of the paying for the sins of the father is an argument, and I think a good argument. However, how I base I'm looking at a bid appeal, which means the contract's actually already been issued to another business. We're not going to talk about them, but it's already been issued. In order to kind of overcome a bid rejection appeal, I personally look at it as I give the directors the discretion. And so how I look at it is, did the department director arbitrarily and capriciously reject the bid? And did they do something that I kind of look at it from a court's perspective of, did they abuse their discretion in rejecting it? I think had Mr. Palermo Sr. not been listed as the sole arborist, then I think it could be looked at in what you're saying. I think, though, when the City Public Works opened the bid up and saw that Senior was listed as the president and the sole, basically what it looks like, the sole person that would be in charge of this contract, I do not think that they arbitrarily or did anything that they shouldn't have done. I don't think that Public Works really abused their discretion in doing this or targeted. So it sounds to me like I think there's a path forward for Vinnie Tree Service. Vinnie Tree Service actually has a very good reputation in the community for doing good tree work. I think in this particular instance, though, I've always had the opinion that I'm going to side with the department heads unless I feel like they have abused their discretion, which is why I'm going to support the rejection of the appeal. But I think it was a good discussion, and I think good things to think about moving forward. And I hope that the city and Mr. and sorry, Mr. Palermo, we're calling you Junior, but I think for lack of a better term, I think we wish you the best and wish you success, because I think you do a good job, and I think that there's a path forward here to work with you in the city moving forward. Nothing further.
Thank you. Councilmember Goodwin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to, first of all, call up Heather for
just to clarify a statement that was made, but I also wanted to just respond to, I do think the argument regarding whether or not a felon has a right to get on a right path is misdirected in this case. There's proof about how Palermo Sr. conducted himself with federal contracts as a city representative, in this case on the council, and so that was taken into consideration. Further, no contractor or contract that is submitted has a right. They're not entitled to the bid. They have a right to apply. And then that's where then the department has a right to look at lowest and best. And I think it was very much so discussed about all the entire circumstance around whether this bid or this submission was the best. But there was, I just wanted Heather to clarify, there has not been a contract issued, has there?
Heather Tippy Pierce, Public Works. For this OPW, there has not been a contract. Earlier in the bidding cycle, we did have a larger tree stump removal contract that was awarded, but Vinnie's Tree Service was not a bidder on that particular larger contract. So this is a smaller subset contract that we broke out for our sewer maintenance division, and we are holding. We have the other vendors kind of in holding pattern right now based on the outcome of what happens today. So no permanent decisions have been made on this contract yet.
Thank you for that clarity. And I also wanted to just speak on behalf of the city and say that the city has restorative justice programming in which we work for pathways forward for people who've been justice involved. And so we understand that we want people to be, once they're reinstated into society, productive citizens, and yet we still have the discretion to take a process like this and scrutinize it so that public funds, taxpayer funds in this case, are utilized to the highest and best use. But thank you for that clarity.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? I see no lights. Do we have a motion? There's a motion and a second. No further lights. Roll call.
Melton.
Yes.
Rowe.
Yes.
Festerson.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Aye.
motion passed 7-0. Non-action items, items 43 through 54, do not require public hearing or city council consideration at this meeting, but will be placed on a future agenda for public hearing and/or vote. The reason for non-action is noted after the item on the agenda, as well as the date the item is expected to appear on an agenda for consideration.
Got a motion to adjourn. Second. Roll call.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson.
Yes.
Goodwin. Harding.
Yes.
Hug.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Meeting is adjourned at 2:48.